This month, Stephen requested me on Patreon to review the film Moxie on Netflix. This is the second feature film directed by Amy Poehler, following Wine Country, which she also made for Netflix. Unfortunately, I was not the biggest fan of Wine Country, as I found it unfocused and rambling. I think Poehler is a very talented actress and comedian, though, so I still held out hope that I would enjoy her next movie. And that has proven to be the case, as I think Moxie is a solid teen movie, and I thought she did a really good job of her direction. Based on a book by Jennifer Mathieu, Moxie managed to portray its themes with depth and made for an entertaining movie. Even though the story is primarily centered on a teen girl named Vivian, what helps make it work is the entire ensemble. Over the course of the movie, we get to know the characters, and the meetings and discussions they have feel genuine as they comment on what bothers them about the high school experience, with particular emphasis on how girls are treated. I did root for them and hoped things worked out, and the antagonist came across as appropriately unlikable, especially the football team captain, Mitchell. There's also the principal, who is not necessarily a villain, she's just really bad at her job, and Marcia Gay Harden succeeds in making her frustrating to watch. I think we've all encountered those people who work in education who, rather than try and find the proper solution to resolve a major problem, attempt to tiptoe around the issue and ignore the root cause, and as a result, don't fix anything. Amy Poehler also appears in the movie as Vivian's mother, and she's great at portraying her understanding of the current generation and what her daughter is going through, while still having that motherly instinct. Of all the characters, though, I found the character of Lucy to have the most interesting arc. There's an immediate sympathy for her when she's harassed by Mitchell, and she makes plenty of great points. One of her first scenes, where she criticizes the books often taught in high school, is one of the highlights of the film, and does an excellent job of establishing her character. That scene also works in introducing Mitchell's ego and his belief that he can just step on anyone he wants. Although Lucy does sort of take a back seat after a while, as Vivian gets most of the narrative focus. She's still a prominent character, but the opening 20 minutes seem to indicate she would become just as important as Vivian. I also want to shout out Ike Barinholtz, who plays the English teacher and gets plenty of funny moments. There's a romance that forms between Vivian and a boy she likes, and maybe it's because of other teen films I've watched, but the whole time I had a worried feeling he was going to turn at some point. That never happens, which provided a nice subversion of the usual trope of the desired boyfriend who turns out to be a jerk, and frankly the film already had enough antagonists. I also liked Clark Gregg's role as Poehler's boyfriend in the movie. He's probably in the film for around 5 minutes, but he helps make him likable in the short time he has, and he and Poehler have nice scenes together. Even though Moxie is very much a feminist movie, it's quite even-handed, and accurately shows that feminism is not exclusively a movement for women to participate in. I did grow concerned with Vivian's behavior at one point, as she begins crossing the line and treating others poorly. I thought to myself, am I going to start hating this character? But the filmmakers were self-aware about her behavior, and other characters do start calling her out. It's refreshing to see a teen movie with a flawed protagonist like this. And one of the messages of Moxie is that while it's okay to be angry about certain things, you cannot let that overwhelm you or let anger define your entire personality. There is more than one way to inspire change and create a movement. The film also shows, through Vivian's best friend Claudia, that even if someone is not loud or talking about an issue all the time, it does not mean they're not supportive of it. A criticism I do have about the movie is that it does run maybe a tad too long and could have been tighter in the editing department. Nonetheless, I think Moxie serves as a solid film for young people and shows Amy Poehler has a promising career as a director. I look forward to seeing what project she signs up for in the future. Give Moxie a look on Netflix and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for the request, Stephen.